Hi, this is Daniel for FootyAmigo.com and I want to welcome you to this video. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use our newly launched advanced feature for creating more advanced in-play strategies. So the first thing to do is to log into your Footy Amigo account, and if you're signed into your dashboard, just click on in-play alerts and then click on add a new strategy. So now we're going to create examples of strategies using the newly launched advanced rules. So the first thing is to name your strategy. I want to name mine home team has 3 times more shots on targets than away team in first half. So this strategy is I'm trying to find games where the home team has 3 times more shots on target than the away team in first half and they haven't scored a goal. So the first thing to do is to set the time. So I'm going to say the time of the match must be less than or equal to 35 because I still want to have some time in the match to place my bet. So I'm going to set that rule, and then I'm going to say the goals of both teams combined must be equal to 0 because I don't want them to have scored any goal in the match. So I'm going to say equal to 0. I'm going to add that in, and then I'm going to click on add another rule, and that rule has been added. So now it is time to add the rule of the home team has 3 times more shots on targets than the away. So that is where the new advanced button works. So once you click on this, it's going to bring out an option called mathematical expression, and that allows you to be able to add some advanced math rule to your strategies. So let's create one where the home team has 3 times more shots on targets than the away team. So I'm going to select the in-play stats to be shot on target of the home team, and then I'm going to skip this because I want to put that for the away team. So I'm going to say the shot on targets for home is more than or equal to, then I have to click on statistics because I want to compare the in-play stats of the home team with the in-play stats of the away team. So I'm going to click on stats, and then it's going to show the shot on target of the away. And then I'm going to set the math expression to be times 3. So I will explain that now. So let me show you what I mean. So the shot on target of the home team is more than or equal to shot on target of the away team times 3. What that simply means in simple words is that the home team must have 3 times more shot on targets than the away team. So how you do that is by following the exact same steps I've just done. So I'm going to add that rule, and my rule has now been added. As you can see, shot on target of home is more than or equal to shot on target of away times 3. So there's one more important rule that you need to add, and I'm going to show you what that rule is. So I'm going to turn off advanced because it's not required, and then I'm going to switch to this, and then that rule is the shot on target of away team is not equal to 0. So I'm going to say is not equal to 0. I'm going to put 0 there, and then I'm going to click on add another rule. So you might ask, why did I have to add this rule if I already had that rule? So the reason is because this rule is going to find you a match whereby the home team has 3 times more shots on target than the away team. However, if the away team has 0 shots on target in the match, then 0 times any number is always going to be 0. So that means you're going to be receiving wrong alerts if the away team has 0 shot on target. So it's always important to add another rule saying the shot on target of away is not equal to 0 because 0 times any number is going to be 0. So once you add this rule, it's going to ensure that the away team doesn't have 0 shot on target. So this is a simple way to create a strategy where the home team has 3 times more shot on target than the away team in first half. So you can always edit this and change this to 4 times more shots on target, 5 times more, or 2 times more. It depends on you. So this will come down to the exact strategy that you are trying to create. But this is exactly how you use the newly launched advanced option. So don't forget to always add this. So let's assume I'm trying to do 2 times more goals than the away team. So I'm just going to close this, and then I'm going to say, so I'm going to come back here and I will click on advanced again, and then I'm going to say the goals of the home team is more than, actually let's use more than, then I'm going to click on stats and then goals of away team times 2, right? So this means that the goals of home is more than goals of away times 2. So in simple terms, the home team must have 2 times more goals than the away team. So once I add that, don't forget I need to add another rule saying the away goals must not be equal to 0. So to do that again, I just say goals of away, and then I can turn this off because it's not required for that, is not equal to 0. So anytime you add a rule such as this, you always need to add a buffer to say that stats of the team must not be equal to 0, because if the away team here has 0 goals, you're going to receive an alert where the home team doesn't have 2 times more, because 0 times any number is going to be 0. So that is exactly how you use the advanced rule. So now you might ask and say, well, I don't want to specify the team. I just want to find a match where any team, the home or away team, has 3 times more shots on target than the other team. So let's create that new strategy. We'll say any team has 3 times more SOT than the other team, right? So I don't care if it is the home or away. I just want you to send me an alert when you find a live match where one of the teams has 3 more shots on targets than the other team. So I'm just going to clean all these rules and then let's create that. So to do that, I want you to please pay close attention. So I'm going to click on advanced, obviously, to bring this new thing for me. So I'm going to just disable that and then start again afresh. So I'm going to say the shot on target off. So this is the place that you need to pay attention to. So to do any team, you need to select team with higher value. So the shot on target of team with higher value is more than or equal to the shot on target of team with lower value. So you need to scroll down and then select team and then say times 3. Right? So shot on target of team with higher value is more than or equal to shot on target of team with lower value times 3. So I'm just going to explain this and say that this higher value thing is to find any team that has a higher value for that stat. So if you're trying to find any team, because you have the power to say I want it for the home team or the underdog or the favorite or blah blah blah, but if you don't want to specify the exact team, you can just use team with higher value and then use team with lower value. Now that you've added that rule, don't forget you need to add a buffer to say the shot on target of team with lower value is not equal to 0. So I can always turn this off and then I can say the shot on target of team with lower value is not equal to 0, right? And then I'm going to add that rule because this ensures that the other team doesn't have 0 shot on target. So that is exactly how you create a strategy where you don't set the team, because previously I showed you how to do for home team has more shot on target than away team. What if you don't want to specify the exact team? That is when you use this team called team with higher value and then team with lower value. So this strategy, for example, is going to send you an alert when there is a live match where one of the teams has 3 times more shots on target than the other team. So I'm going to close this and then I'm going to create one last example. So I'm going to say the away team has, let's say, 5 times more dangerous attacks than home team. Okay, it's too long. So let's say home, right? So I'm going to close all this and then I'm going to create a strategy for away team has 5 times more dangerous attacks than home team. In the last actually, let's say than home team in the last 30 minutes, right? So obviously I cannot save this because it's too long, but I'll just name this so that you can understand what I mean. So the away team has 5 times more dangerous attacks than home team in the last 30, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on advanced, and then I'm going to say the dangerous attacks of the away team is more than the dangerous attacks of the home team times 5 in the past 30 minutes, right? So now this is even more advanced. I haven't clicked on add rule because now I'm saying the dangerous attacks of the away team is more than the dangerous attacks of the home team times 5 in the past 30 minutes of a match. I can also say 10 because I'm trying to find a match where the dangerous attacks of the away team is more than the dangerous attacks of the home team times 5 in the past 10 minutes of the match. So if I add that rule, as you can see, that rule, I'm going to take this off, that rule has now been added. Don't forget, I need to add a buffer saying the dangerous attacks, so I can turn this off right now, and then I'm going to say the dangerous attacks of the home team must not be equal to 0, and then I'm going to add that rule. So now that ensures that the dangerous attacks of the away team is more than the dangerous attacks of the home team times 5. So in simple English, this simply means the dangerous attacks of the away team must be 5 times the dangerous attacks of the home team in the past 10 minutes of the match. And then I had a rule saying that the dangerous attacks of the home team should not and must not be equal to 0. So this is an example of how to create another strategy. And you're able to use the same thing for stats such as shots on target, shots off target, shots, goals, corners, and any of this. So this can be used for any in-play stat. So those are examples of how to use the newly launched advanced way of creating in-play strategies. I know I might not be able to cover everything because different people have different type of strategies that they are trying to create. Some people might be trying to find 3x or addition or subtraction. It really depends on you, right? So I just want you to use this video as a template or as an idea of how to create advanced strategies. So I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any questions, you can always navigate to your dashboard and click on the Get Help tab, and somebody is going to be there to answer any questions that you have. Thank you so much for your time, amigo. I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.